Is today Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? Is today Wednesday? Welcome to Wedding Feature Wednesday! Hello. I'm back. My name is Tej Azuk and welcome to Wedding Feature Wednesday, guys. I welcome everybody onto our panel. Hey, Zona Wines! Welcome to Wedding Feature Wednesday, guys. Let me do the usual little bit of housekeeping and making sure to invite all of our favorite viewers to Wedding Feature Wednesday. So just sending out our invites just in the beginning, just to make sure everybody that we love and who's always on actually tunes into our Wedding Feature Wednesday platform. Awesome. All right, so if you are just joining, welcome to Wedding Feature Wednesday again. This is our 10th episode, guys. 10. You have journeyed with me over 9 episodes of talking about weddings, talking about how exciting weddings are, learning, what's been happening with the industry, looking at our opportunities, our challenges, exploring all the ideas, getting to know the vendors. Y'all, we have really had a really good time together. I've had a good 9 episodes with you, and I'm hoping that the next 10 or the next 9 that we do are going to be just as exciting as the previous set. So as people come in, I just want to introduce myself again. My name is Tej Azuk, and this is our Wedding Feature Wednesday platform. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Instagram, we come on live and we talk to a wedding industry professional about what it's like to do a wedding in St. Lucia. What are their challenges, what are their opportunities, what are the things that excite them, what's their favorite wedding, what's their biggest disaster. We've had some really great stories, and this 10th episode, we're actually just going to review our 9 episodes, just sort of recap what we've learned, where we're going, what we're doing, and a chance for you to ask me some really cool questions. And I got some questions during the day, so I'm excited about answering some of them. But before I start, I actually want to let you guys know that this Wedding Feature Wednesday is actually going to be more of a chat. We're not going to have an industry professional come on board this evening. It's just going to be me. Oh, you're stuck with me. It's just going to be me, but even more so, you're going to have me and you're going to have Zona Wines. Guys, please welcome Zona Wines to our Wedding Feature Wednesday platform. And this is the first time we've had somebody like a wine on board, and although it's a new brand, I'm very excited about having them featured, and I'm excited. This is my first time that I am going to taste Zona Wines. Zona Wines is run by Jada Francis, and I met Jada maybe a year ago, and she's such an amazing young woman, and hopefully she will be on board with coming to be featured on our Wedding Feature Wednesday platform. But I met Jada, and Jada told me about her starting up a wine brand. I was like, oh, that sounds so exciting. I asked her to tell me a little bit more about it, and here we are at Zona Wines. So Jada's Zona Wines, which I will show you in just a bit, is actually inspired by the Amazonia versicolor, and you're going to see it from her logo on her wine bottle. Hi Janelle, thanks for joining in. This Wedding Feature Wednesday, I'm just repeating for Janelle, is a sip and chat, and we have Zona Wines on board. So I met Jada, who owns Zona Wines, almost a year ago, I believe. And she was telling me a little bit about her brand, and she was talking about how it's inspired by the Amazonia versicolor. You all know it's our national bird of St. Lucia, and it's very evident in her branding that she is inspired by the Amazonia versicolor. But even more so, doing some research about Zona Wines, going on their website at www.zonawines.com, I got to know so much more about her brand that I'm so inspired by, and I'm so proud of Jada for. She made sure to build a brand that sort of empowers persons to understand what the potential of the Caribbean lifestyle can be like. So yeah, we always like to kick it and doggy this and G that, but Jada really wanted to express how much potential that we have, how much influence that we have, as a Caribbean lifestyle. And I really like that, because you never see a Caribbean brand of wine really talking about their class. And I love that she's bringing like a tropical flair, but with an esteem to it. I really like that about Zona Wines. But even more so, it spoke about letting your culture be your crown. Isn't that beautiful? beautiful. Yo, go on the website. You'll need to read that because she speaks about having your culture, your Caribbean culture, be your crown. Now, as a queen myself, I resonate with that. I really like that. So, Zona Wines, inspired by Amazonia Vesica. You all know me. I like to do the recaps. Zona Wines, inspired by Amazonia Vesica. It's about wearing your Caribbean culture as your crown, and it's really about having that lifestyle, that Caribbean lifestyle, seeing the potential and the influence that it can have. Jada really has her head strong on her shoulders, and she definitely is a go-getter. Thank you so much for that, Janelle. Absolutely. Welcome again to all our viewers. Today's a little different. It's a sip and chat, and we're talking about Zona Wines, just to chat, so it's a little more casual. Yeah, so tonight I'm gonna introduce you to my Zona Wines, and I have it right here. I kept it in the packaging because I really wanted to let you understand the experience of it. So first of all, Jada's a darling. She's amazing to deal with, and it was very easy to do the order for Zona Wines because you can do it right on the website at www.zonawines.com. It's XONA wines.com, XONA wines.com. And when you get on the site, you get a chance to choose between a range of flavors for her wine. Now I have the Cabernet Sauvignon here, but she also has, when you go to the site, she also has a pineapple Chardonnay, she has a mango flavored wine, and a Sauvignon Blanc. So I have the Cab Sav that we're going to try this evening. Hi, good night. And I really want to show you guys the packaging. The bottle that I have, the Cabernet Sauvignon, is 35 EC, and you can order it directly from the website, but it's not a case where you order it and then you have to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks for your wine to reach. You order it on the site. When you go through your checkout, you can just select delivery, and your wine can be there with you almost immediately, guys. Okay, almost immediately. I believe they use quick delivery as well, so your wines can be picked up and delivered to you within the day, most likely within the day. So absolutely going to get into the Zona. Yo, go on the website, you see this branding, you see this gold bird, you're gonna know that's Zona. So presenting Zona Wines in the package. Now you all know I'm a designer, so I'm one for details. So whether or not Zona likes it, I'm gonna critique this. I'm gonna critique this. When I received this from the supplier, I thought that was very, very smart packaging. This box is a dual purpose box, and if you've been following our Wedding Feature Wednesday brand, you know that I like things that can be double usage. The ceremony decor can transfer into the reception decor, and it's the same for this box. I think this is a multi-purpose box. I imagined all the possibilities when I received this. I was like, well, when we finish use this wine, this can have flowers coming out of this. There could be a candle in it, well, a flameless candle sitting inside here. You can use this to re-gift. It's strong, it's sturdy, it's heavy, it's solid, it's a sleek black box. The only critique I would give to Zona is to put the actual branding for Zona Wines on the box itself. I understand that it's here, but I always think to myself, what if I didn't see the box? You know, what if I saw the box like this? I would want to know that this was a Zona box. So it would have been cool to have the gold Amazona emblem somewhere on the back of the box, or somewhere on the back of the box of some sort. But I absolutely love this packaging. It is so multifunctional, multi-purpose, and I know Do It With Mel usually comes on our live, so I know Mel's gonna see this and be like, oh, that's interesting. So this is really good packaging for Zona Wines. So let's get into opening the box. Really sturdy, eh? And I would like to mention that when I was carrying it home, because the box was so sturdy, I didn't fear, oh, the box is gonna break or it's gonna toss all over the place. Like, I put that on the floor of the car and that was flying everywhere, and that was good to go. I was like, okay, Zona, okay, packaging, I love that. So it's easy to open. It's just a quick tab in, open here. Oh my god. You see, I turned on the box sturdy and the bottle is sturdy. Anyway, so it's a tab in, and then you pull it out, you open out your box, and you get your wine out. So this is your Zona Wines, guys. So it's XONA, and it has, I don't know if you can see, but it has a beautiful pattern print in the back. You'll know I'm on for the details. So a beautiful tropical palm tree print in the back here, and then you have her gold emblem of the Amazona versicolor bird that she's inspired by. You have your brand right here. You have that it's a Cab Sav and it's a 2028 edition, and it's JW Winery. I assume that is Jada Whitney Winery. It's a 750 meter bottle. It's 12% alcohol. It has the description on the back, which I'm actually going to read from the website for you so that you can go on the website yourself, guys. It's zonawines.com. So this is inspired by the island's endemic parrot. Join us in experiencing the Caribbean twist of an irresistible flavor sensation. Every drop of the Cabernet Sauvignon is carefully curated from the heart of the island's treasures to your glass. So this is the heart of the island in your glass, guys. So definitely nice, sleek, clean. Everything looks high end. I love this for Caribbean brand. It looks high end. It can sit next to any other wine bottle, and you never know that this was just a, you know, let me not say just, but this is a St. Lucian brand, and I think that's where we have to get used to wearing our culture as our crown. This is a St. Lucian brand, guys, and this is Zona Wines, and we did the unboxing, and now we're going to get into tasting this wine. So I would first like to say that Cabernet Sauvignon is usually very good with beef, with steak, with a lot of meats in there. So if you're having a burger or a steak for the evening, that's also a nice time to have a Cabernet Sauvignon. But it's also good with a dark chocolate. So nothing too sweet, a nice rich dark chocolate. A Cab Sav definitely goes well with that. So let's go with opening up the bottle. Woo. All right. And I have my wine glass here, so I'm just going to do my first pour, and we're going to look at this a little bit. So I'm going to give you a chance, I hope the lighting will do this justice, to kind of just see the color on the wine. Okay, so it's a younger wine, and you can kind of see that from the color. I'm no sommelier, but I'll let you know that I do understand that it is a little bit of a younger wine. But it's beautiful nonetheless. So it looks good. Now let us have a smell of this wine. And you know what I love about wine? Wine is such a sensual experience. It engages your senses. You know, it's a sensory experience. Sorry, it engages your senses. So we looked at the wine, very beautiful. A little bit young, but that's okay. This is a new brand, and I think it'll age beautifully. Carcosa and sea chocolate probably will be perfect, but we'll know now. Let's have a little bit of a smell of this wine. So I'm just gonna swirl that wine a little bit just so that we can release all the flavors of the wine, and then we are going to have a little bit of a smell here. Just give it another stir. Yo, it's beautiful. Already I think it's absolutely beautiful. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you what I can smell. I can give you a smell too. You smell that? You smell that? Nadia, tell me what that smells like to you, girl. So let me just give it one more, and I'll let you know exactly what I'm smelling in here. Okay, I am picking up scents of cinnamon. I'm getting some earth tones, a little wood, a little rusticness to it. There's a fruit base in there as well. It's almost like it's a grape, but it really has a nice, rich, fruity smell. A lot of nice flavors. There's a background of cinnamon for sure inside of this. Jada, there's a background of, I love cinnamon. There's a background of cinnamon in there. So that's a very nice spice to have, spice flavor to have in your wine. Very nice, very, very beautiful, guys. Okay, so now that we've stirred our wine and we smell our wine, we looked at it, now let's take our first sip. Now our first sip of wine, we really want to get them straight into our palate, just to swish it around so that we know what we're working with. And then our second taste of the wine is where we're really going to really taste the flavors coming out of the wine. So Jada is telling us that there's some dark berries in there. Yeah, that's that rich flavor that I'm getting from it, and the cinnamon, I'm right too. There's cinnamon in there as well. Okay, so So this one's just to open up our palette. Woo. Okay. And then now let's have a good sip. Okay. Absolutely. This is very nice. It's a little sharp. I'll be very honest. And I did tell Jada that I would be very honest. It's a little sharp, but it's balanced between being sharp and smooth simultaneously. It's a nice dinner wine, and I can see why this wine is actually perfect for food pairing. Rather than just drinking casually, this is definitely a dinner wine in my perspective. Now, wine is subjective, guys. It's all about you, what you taste, what you like, and I'm giving you my opinion on what I like, and I think this is a very good dinner wine. I could see that going straight for the dinner. Like, you know, you have your appetizers in this wine, you get into your steak meal, and you definitely go into your dark chocolate dessert. Definitely. I'm not a sommelier. Don't start, okay? I don't start. I'm simply giving my advice on the Zona wine. This is just how we're starting. We're just having a little bit of Zona wine. So if you're just joining us, this is our Zona wine brand, and we're just having a little sip just before we start our chat. And I want to just give you a recommendation for the Cabernet Sauvignon from Zona wines, that it goes well with flavored cheeses, tomato-based meals, and red meats. So definitely your beef burger in there, definitely your ribs in there, definitely your sirloin steak in there, and your bruschetta. Ooh, you see, I said that this is a beautiful dinner wine. You start off with a bruschetta, you get into your steak, and then you have a dark chocolate treat from Sweet Dreams Custom Cakes. This is or from Caco Saint Lucie. This is absolutely a beautiful wine. Okay, so this is nice, and then let us get into the chat. So if you have any questions, guys, thus far, let me know. I really think that we need to start to explore the other flavors of Zona wines, and we need to start to support our local brands, guys. So there's the Cabernet Sauvignon. I like a dry wine. I don't like that much of a sweet wine. I like a dry wine, and they did ask me what I preferred. So the Cabernet Sauvignon is a nice, sharp, dry wine. I think it's beautiful for dinner. The Sauvignon Blanc would probably be just as sharp, but she does has more fruity and sweeter flavors. There's a beautiful pineapple Chardonnay. That sounds so exciting, guys. And I see why there's a parrot on the emblem of the logo, because it really features the tropical Caribbean. And if you're just coming in, this brand is a local brand. It's called Zona Wines, and it's really about wearing your Caribbean culture as your crown, guys, and elevating your lifestyle, and elevating your potential, and elevating your expectations. So there's a pineapple Chardonnay, and then there's Jane have some big names on there. I don't know how to say that word. So there's one that's flavored with mango, okay? There's a big one on there. You need to go on the side so you can see the word and laugh at me, okay? There's one that's flavored with mango, and it seems exciting as well. So hopefully, I mean, I'm impressed with the Cabernet Sauvignon for such a young wine. So hopefully, as she grows, some of her wines may be a little bit more aged. But even though she can't get aged wine, I think just exploring the flavors of the pineapple and the mango. I'm looking forward to coconut, Jada. I don't know how you're going to do it, sir, but I love coconuts. We had to put that in there. I don't know how. But so again, cheers to Zona Wines. Thank you so much for blessing us on Wedding Feature Wednesday with your wine, and I'm looking forward to exploring your other flavors. And we have 6, guys. So now let us get into the chat. So Wedding Feature Wednesday, first of all, I just want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who's been here with me for the past 9 episodes. Showing up every Wednesday at 8 p.m. is your time, and I'm so honored that you have taken that time to spend with me. But I'm more so honored that we've seen the value in understanding what happens behind the scenes of any wedding. You know, what happens when the suppliers are having their breakdowns, or having their successful milestones, or exploring new ideas, or, you know, be exploring their potential, whatever the case may be. We have had the chance over 9 episodes to really just explore, express, understand, learn. And I love that we've asked each other questions and we've really gone through it. So let's go back memory lane to our very first episode. Cheers to Wedding Feature Wednesday. So you all have your wine. You all need to go get your wine. Somebody needs to go get the wine and come in on this live. So cheers to Zona Wines on our Wedding Feature Wednesday. Okay, so the first wedding that we did was actually a beautiful couple called Darlene and Kish. And this one was one of my favorite ones. It was the one with the square arch on the golf club, and this is the first time I brought the Wedding Feature Wednesday concept to the table. Now I think it may be fair for me to explain why I came up with this concept. I was sitting there and I said, man, I really need to post more content on my page. I'll be very honest. I was like, I really need to post more content on my page. And I started going through my profile and I realized, yeah, I could just post all my pictures on my weddings and stuff. And as I was preparing to post my pictures, I said, people really don't know what goes into this wedding that I produced. Like, I was reminiscing and I was like, wow, I sweat so much on that wedding. Wow, well, that thing was so hard. May I say, that was so exciting. I'm so happy to see the couple's face. And I said to myself, people really don't understand what goes into the production of a wedding. And before I posted my photos, I said, what if I don't just post my photos? What if I take the option of telling a story when I post my photos? Because I don't want people to just hire me because the picture is pretty, but they don't understand anything about what it takes to get it done. And I'm trying to tell you, pay for this, but I know you don't even understand the value of what it is I'm doing. So what if I'm able to tell a story about my work? And then I said, we don't know what anybody goes through behind the scenes to produce their weddings or events or craft or creative. What if beyond me, what does the cake maker go through? What does the planner go through? What does the lighting guy go through? What does the DJ go through? And more so, having understood what COVID have done us in terms of when we closed down the borders, everybody was like distraught, we weren't getting as much work, it was just a difficult time period and a real lull in our economic standpoint. I started thinking, how can we reinvent ourselves? How can we think of our industry differently? And it's nice if you sit in your corner and you think about things, but if you have a team of people who know what you're talking about, who can empathize with your pain, who can sit there and say, yeah, I feel you, maybe we could try this, maybe we could try that. If we had a group of people who could do that, then maybe we can problem solve faster, maybe we can collaborate more, maybe we can find new ways to explore new ideas. And that was my expectation, and honestly, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. One of my key successes that I've identified coming out of Wedding Feature Wednesday is collaboration. And I can only speak from my personal experience, and I can tell you what others have told me, but from my personal experience, I've never felt the door open more so than anything else with the other vendors to even just have a dialogue, to just say, hey, I'm having an issue with this, I'm exploring that, do you have this, I'm looking for that, I'm trying to remain this, what's in your stock, how can we make money, how can we have things moving forward. This platform has opened for me, has opened an opportunity to have dialogue among vendors and to really start to collaborate on a few ideas, and I think that's commendable. So our first Wedding Feature Wednesday was Darlene and Kish, and this one was our golf club ceremony and our Shangri-La reception. And that was the one where we discussed how we had to move all the chairs from the ceremony to the reception, how hectic and challenging it was. But what we learned in that one was that it was really important for everybody, and that established it here. It was really important that everybody was participating in a wedding: photographer, videographer, wedding planner, designer, florist, lighting guy, DJ, bartender, caterer, everybody that was participating in the wedding. Is really important for us to have the end goal in mind. And we recognized that during Darlene and Kish's wedding, because we spoke about how when the chairs came to the location, everybody was just hands on deck. We formed a big line and they were just passing chairs from everywhere. They were just passing chairs, getting it from the ceremony. The truck arrived and we were like, let's go, let's go. And everybody just formed a line and started pulling chairs and putting them in place because all the napkins were on the table already and we were putting them in place. And that showed how much synergy that we have as an industry and how important it is to select vendors who can collaborate and coexist and just work together really well. Another thing that I believe that I mentioned during that first wedding is how much it was a pleasure to see the videographer, all the technical people, the videographer, the photographer, and I believe the DJ, they were hanging out at some point and just chilling. And I looked back and I saw it and I was like, wow, that's cool, that's cool. So that was my biggest takeaway from our first Wedding Feature Wednesday, and that opened the doors for collaboration. Our next Wedding Feature Wednesday was a blush pink Pigeon Island, that's episode 2, Pigeon Island ceremony, Pigeon Island ruin ceremony, and Pigeon Island beach reception. Now I don't know if anybody remember this one. It was Mindy and Daniel, and that was the one with all the wisteria above at Pigeon Island in the ruins. And again, in true Tej fashion, there was a transfer of elements from the ceremony to the reception. That one was the one where I tell I make a big faux pas. I make a big faux pas in the wedding. To this day I hold that heavy in my heart. I made a big faux pas on that one. I transferred the ceremony decor, the ceremony roofing to the reception, and I forgot the waterproofing that went to the reception, so it started to rain and the bride and groom were sitting underneath a beautiful looking coverage, but it had no rain protection, had no waterproofing, so they had to get umbrellas and they were standing there, and I had to make a decision between pulling a ladder now or just letting it happen, and I just let it happen because the aesthetic of pulling a ladder right now was not a good one. So I just let it happen, and yeah, it looked beautiful, and that's what mattered. It looked absolutely beautiful, but you have to take your L where you take your L, and I did take a mini L right there on that wedding. So that's your Mindy and Daniel. Another cool feature from that wedding was the cake. This one was done by Coco Love, but what I liked about the cake was the design of the cake. It had an acrylic based box and it had an acrylic layer in between the cake. So you had acrylic based box, cake layered, acrylic again, and then more cake layered. And this is the one where I had to do the demo. Yes, I told you guys that we couldn't even, the bride, the couple couldn't imagine the pitch, and 3D wasn't the way for them because it was just more photos, more 3D. So they actually wanted me to do a demo of the wedding before the wedding. So we had to put it together before actually producing it on the day, and the intricacy. And this is also the one where I gave you all a tip on how to produce in the wedding, in the ruins at Pigeon Island, that you need to put the metal poles across the top to be able to grid the roof and then hang your draping. I got a lot of flack after that live, that second Wedding Feature Wednesday live. I got a lot of flack, especially from my mom, because she called me and she said, "Why are you giving people all your ideas?" She was like, I don't think you're doing something smart here, you know, Tej. You giving people all your ideas. You telling people how to set up the weddings. You telling people how to produce the thing. And I was like, yeah, I am telling people how to produce it, because we need more of that. We need more sharing. We need more collaboration. There is nothing I lose in telling another designer how to do the roof at the ruins on Pigeon Island. There's nothing I lose. You know why? Because she's her and I'm me. That's why. She's her and I'm me. And she can never do it the way I do it, and I can never do it the way she does it. And having the know-how, having the base technical skill is always good. I wish there was somebody who gave me the base technical skill, because I struggle a lot in the beginning just trying to figure out, how do I get this done? Who do I call? How do I figure it out? And I wasted so much time on the delay of just trying to figure out how do I, that I couldn't spend as much time on the then I am, and then starting to do it, and then getting indulged in the design. So I'm saying, If somebody can tell you what the base level of how to do it is, yo, take that information. And if I want that for me, then I'm gonna give that to you. So I told my mom, let me tell you something, you don't understand what I'm doing there. Sorry, I didn't get my chop for that. I told her, honestly, I'm losing nothing doing that. In fact, I'm contributing to the industry, having more high quality weddings, and I would love to see many other people grid the entire rings, and I may never get that bride. That's the thing about it. I want to see the design, but I may never get that bride. And thank you so much for saying that. Everybody has a different touch to everything, and we need shared knowledge base. Exactly, we do. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan's never online, so guys, it's a big thing for half you to be online there right now. Thank you for that. So yeah, absolutely. I rejected that comment because I had to be so strong about saying it's okay to share. It is okay to share. So that was 2. Now, I know a few new people walked in, so I just want to reintroduce what we spoke about. Zona Wines tonight. This is a Caribbean brand, a St. Lucian brand by Jada Whitney Francis, and this is called Zona Wines. www.zonawines.com, guys. We're having the Cab Sauv today, and it is a nice dinner wine. We established that it goes really well for bruschetta, really good for steak dinner, amazing for dark chocolate dessert. You need to check it out, and we're excited to try the pineapple and the mango another time. Okay, so let's continue. So that's 2 weddings covered, 2 wedding feature Wednesdays covered. All right, our third wedding feature Wednesday was the Indian wedding. Honestly, one of my favorite weddings was the Indian wedding, and I didn't even approach this one from a design point of view. I really explained this one from a experience of an Indian wedding point of view. This one was my first, that was my first Indian wedding, and I was just so honored and grateful to be a part of this. The planner on this one was actually Awesome Caribbean Weddings, so they organized the pundat and everything else that had to go with it, but I came in to do a lot of the design for the series of events, and the couple embraced me and they allowed me to get immersed into the experience. I remember when I put up the Indian wedding, Nadia from Passions for Weddings, she was on our last wedding feature Wednesday. She messaged and she said, "Miss, that life going to be so long, because Indian weddings are long." And I was like, I'll simplify that. And I took a very new approach to this one. I actually put out some information during the day. So it wasn't just photos, it was actual information being put out, because it was a learning experience for all of us. Learning about the Indian wedding was amazing. The cultural exchange, like Janelle is saying, was a really good thing. I got to be a part of the henna ceremony. Well, not the henna ceremony. What is it? The one in the turmeric. Forget the name of it. I was a part of that, and then the one in the turmeric where you get covered in the turmeric, and then the ceremony itself, and then watching how, you know, the procession is so different from a traditional wedding, and the amount of color and glam. And I think the best part of this wedding is how you can have something so cultural but so modern and just look just as beautiful as any other wedding, if not more. The bride and groom, just the most beautiful, loving, warm couple I've ever met, and there were absolutely no challenges with this wedding. It was a lovely canopy. We had enough time to set up. The only thing I never told you all was I had to cut the fabric to make the drapes on site. I posted a few pictures of me doing that on site, but other than that, the wedding was beautiful. And again, listen, Nadia made me realize, Nadia from Passions for Weddings, she made me realize how much I transfer things, because again, I took off the entire floral work on the front of the canopy, and I put it down as a centerpiece on the reception. Now this is 3 weddings now that we're realizing that I transfer things. So maybe that's my thing. Maybe that's my thing. I don't know. So again, guys, we're gonna have a little sip on that one. So that one was our 3rd wedding, which is our Wedding Feature Wednesday Indian wedding experience. And I hope you've gone and gotten your glass of wine by now, because cheers on that one. Yeah, that one was a beautiful one, honestly. Okay, our 4th one. Our fourth wedding was the first wedding that we had a guest. Very first guest. Our very first guest was Andra from Planet Stiletto. That one was the first time having a guest, and I was nervous as shit. I ain't gonna lie. Particularly because I've never really done a business live with somebody else, and it was so organic. Even though I prepared, and I know, right? I'm the transfer queen. Even though I prepared and I sent her notes and we had a conversation before, I was nervous because it was about makeup, and I'm just not a. I just have never indulged in that industry, so I didn't even know where I would start with the questions and how I would navigate, and she'd talk about something that I didn't know. But let me tell you, sometimes even when you don't know, you gotta go in it. And I said, you're gonna guide me. You understand? Because I don't know what you're talking about. So you're gonna guide me. And I learned so much from the single lash installs to the line of things. I may not say the phrases correctly, but I understand the concepts. The single lash installs to to the line installs, to the double, to the wing up here, and the fully curled one, and understanding what works for you and maintenance of your lashes. I mean, Andra shared so much information, even with her process of her trying to look at the natural shape of your eye before she recommended what lash works for you. And it was just beautiful watching her face too. So she's a very pretty lady, so so very vibrant and pretty lady. So that was really nice, and we learned a lot. And Nadia did come. I'm talking about Nadia a lot because Nadia's been a loyal viewer. Listen, Zona Wise, don't need to go and check Nadia and give her something. But she did mention that we waiting to see me with the lashes. It ain't gonna happen. I mean, good luck. It'll not happen. So I just want to throw that out there. So our next, so that is our 1, 2, 3, 4. Andra was our fourth. So we on to our fifth now. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we did Darlene and Kish, Mindy and Daniel, our Indian one, Andra. So that's 4. So now we're into our fifth one. Can you guess who was our fifth viewer? I'm gonna give you a second. Can you guess? No, it's not gonna happen. The lashes are not gonna happen, Shalene. I'm sorry. The lashes, it's not gonna happen. These, they work in. But I respect Andra's business, and I love her stuff, and I love the way it just brightens up your face, and I love that lashes are not just one event, that it's for a regular day just the same. So yeah, y'all can stop that. Today I catch myself in problems because I said, ask me anything wedding related on my WhatsApp, and I have around 10 responses that said, oh, okay, cool, so when you get married. This is my face. I catch myself in that. So now you're here with the you should try the lashes for real. Yeah, make her wrong. So our fifth one now. Can you guess who was our fifth guest? I'll give you a second. No guesses? Jada, I'm tasting like a light fruit, almost like a passion fruit in there. Could be just that taste, but okay, so our fifth and moving on. Our fifth guest was James from Wave Maker Weddings. And James, yes, exactly, thank you very much. Yay. It was James from Wave Maker Weddings, and James was still at work. He thought he would have made on time. He had his ring lights, the thing break on him. He said, wow, I don't have good light for your there. But anyway, let's get it done, and we got it done, and it was an amazing live with James just the same. We learned Jesse's role, James' role, the different creative with my lashes. Great. Okay, I'm just gonna read this comment. Me, you, Nadia, should have to go to dinner with Zona Wines when you're all dressed up with my lashes. Okay, very nice. It's not going to happen. Okay. James, we learned how Jesse's creative input and then James's creative input. Really understood the difference in the two. We also understood from the benefit of actually having a main brand and taking excerpts from that for just the weddings. So there's Wavemaker Photography, which is the crowd, masquerade events, the parties, the fetes and everything. And he took the weddings out of that and created Wavemaker Weddings. And I definitely backed up that concept because I experienced the same with my Azuki Events brand. And I said that on the live, which is I have so many pictures mixed up together, masquerade stuff, wedding stuff, everything was put together. So when a bride wanted to experience my wedding service, she had to filter through too many parties to get to there. So when I took it out and I said, this is weddings, then it just made more sense that way. And they were just, James was saying that that's the approach that they took as well, and I backed that up. We also spoke about the potential of doing unique weddings. It was the first time that we spoke about doing a demo wedding. We have to do that. You hear me? Before you worry about the lashes, let us worry about doing the sample wedding. We wanted to do a sample wedding, all of us collaborating and putting that together. And James said he definitely wants to do an underwater wedding shoot. So we have to do that. Okay, so write it down. Underwater wedding shoot. We have to do that because that was definitely a really good idea. And this is like part of why I'm doing the review, because I don't want us to lose track of what it is that we said we wanted to do. You know, how long are we going to talk about these lashes, y'all? How long? Okay, so that's 5. So then we're going to 6. Can you guess who was on 6? Can you guess? I'm just making you guess so I get some time to drink some Zona wines. There is definitely a light fruit in there, Jada. There is definitely something light in there. Okay. So number 6 is, I'm going to like actively ignore this now. Number 6 is Henna. Hira from Henna. Oh yes! Yes, sorry, before we go to Henna, Jane also said he wanted to do an all iPhone shoot. Yes, thank you for reminding me, guys. Hey, y'all on, y'all listening. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that makes me so happy y'all are actually listening. Okay, so we have a groom. We have a groom, or we have a groomsman. But Ryan, it could just be the groom. We could just be the groom. No, our 6 was not the steel pan. Our 6 was Henna. So I'm just gonna wrap up James' own to say underwater wedding and full iPhone shoot wedding. Definitely on there. There will be no lashes. Then we're moving on to Henna. Henna wedding. And Hero was such an amazing person to have a live with. I thought that it would have been a little bit difficult for you to understand her point of view, but the delivery was on point, her explanations were on point. She really allowed us to understand the dynamic use of henna in any celebration, any event. It really sparked my interest, and honestly, it's on my mood board of things that I have to include when I'm designing a wedding, because I never thought of henna being on like candles. I didn't think of henna being on placemats, on clothing, apart from just being on the body, having it in so many other uses for the wedding, for any celebration, and for any creative concept, you know. And after the live, I was sending her pictures, and I was like, oh, look at how you can do it for the cake, look at how you can do it for on the glasses, look at how you can do it on the buffet. So I think I learned a lot about the use of henna on the live, and the different types of henna, the organic henna, listen, there's a lot of content, a lot of information in there. And then after that, I learned that Hira left St. Lucia. Aww. I learned that he left St. Lucia after that. Y'all debating my counting. Let's go again. They're debating who's 6. So let me go through it again. It was Darlene and Kish, Mindy and Daniel, the Indian wedding, Andrew, James, Hira. I'm not mad, y'all. I'm not mad. So yeah, so Hira from Henna St. Lucia was absolutely amazing. So that's 6. Yeah. Now we're on to 7. Any questions, any comments, any feedback? Now we're on to 7. And 7 is Shazzy. Everybody loves Shazzy, you know. That's why they keep mentioning steel pan, steel pan, steel pan. Everybody loves Shazzy. Shazzy is our steel pan player. And Shazzy is just an amazing young man. Very inspiring, very jolly, very modern. And I loved learning of his story on where he started. That's natural, guys. That's like when you raise your kids, right? He just was around his dad all the time, and very early he got exposed to the instrument and he started playing and learning his thing and doing his thing. I hope Shazzy's practicing, because he did say that he has not been practicing as much as he should be. But you know, every time he gets a gig, it's practice for him in a sense. We identified through Shazzy's interview the importance of social media marketing with your business. Shazzy has a really large following on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook as well, and he just keeps active. He keeps putting out content. He keeps trying new things with his brand, trying modern songs with his steel pan, and really keeping us engaged. And his smile, yes. Jenna said at the same time as me, his smile is infectious. The only part of Shazzy's interview is when there was the first time that I invited other people onto the live for Shazzy's interview. So it was Shazzy and I, and then somebody else came in on the live, and they were just talking about how he's so inspiring and that this discussion is so engaging, and they would love a discussion like that to be something for the youth all over the Caribbean, but particularly in Dominica. And he really kept repeating that, and Shazzy and I sort of, you know, exchanged looks over the live, and it was one of these points where it might not be the popular opinion, but it really is a good opinion to have, is that he's good at steel pan, he's good at this thing, and he's intensely developing and growing this thing, that sometimes you don't stray away from your thing and then try to be a motivational speaker, and then try to be a youth activist, and then try to be this, and then try to be that, and then try to be that, and then you lose the intensity of your thing. And we exchanged that look, Shazzy and I could understand, and I spoke up for him, and I said, you know, it's really exciting that you can have somebody who inspires you, but maybe this is just an example of, and we can definitely use this as an inspiration to find other persons that are really passionate about their craft in the other countries, and use this as a template for how they can inspire others with that. Yeah, Shazzy, absolutely, you all remember in everything he wanted to go international. He wasn't particularly interested in the wedding industry, even though he wanted to explore other elements of weddings, and he loved Afrobeats. Yeah, it was so strange to hear that. You would think that Shazzy was into soca, but he said he loved Afrobeats, so Afrobeats it is. Okay, anything else about Shazzy? It was such a joy to have, guys. Alright, then we have Miss Sweet Dreams Custom Cakes, Janelle Jairo. Now let me tell you something about Janelle. You think it's one or else I harass Janelle to come on the live? You think it's one or else I harass Janelle to come on the live? Well, we finally got her, and I was so impressed. It's one of the lives that I got the most feedback for. I mean, Shazzy, I got some good feedback. Oh, I see it's really picking up and it's really nice, and I enjoyed the live, and much like the others, I enjoyed the live. It was really nice. Thank you so much. I learned so many things. Even somebody said, you know, I'm getting married soon, and she won one of our things. I'm getting married soon, and this information is important to me because it allows me to make the right decisions for my wedding. But Janelle's live was a whole different inspirational aspect. It didn't just inspire the bride, but it inspired anybody who was looking to get into the wedding industry. The professionals, the experts, the talented people. I got calls and messages after, people telling me, you know, I really learned a lot from Janelle's live. I didn't understand how you took all of that. I didn't understand how I was always to the cakes. When is she doing classes again? When is this? When is that? She should really put the buttercream in the stars. She should really do this. Oh my God, I learned from her. Kudos to Janelle for a very informative and amazing live. I learned a lot. Everybody learned a lot. It was so engaging. It was so knowledgeable. And honestly, the best part of it for me was the love that we shared over the live. Now, we were telling a story on the live, we were telling a story. We were telling a story about how originally Janelle and I didn't actually like each other, and that is pure misunderstanding and just perception. That's it. And now you remember his lemon basil. Thank you. It was pure like just misunderstanding and perception, and I highlighted in there for her that, you know, sometimes we are so engrossed in our work that we forget to be personable, but at the same time we have to remember as budding entrepreneurs to still recognize who's around you and what's happening around you, and try to keep your networking and your connections well. And I didn't do a good job of that in the beginning, and particularly because when I'm on site, especially the dynamics of my site is way different from the dynamics of a bakery or a bakery or a more solo job. That I'm on a large site, you know, I'm dealing with a large team, a dynamic team. Everyone's all over the place. It's high energy, it's hot sun, it's moving elements, and it's male dominated. And sometimes I had to be so assertive with what I do that if you were just coming on site, you would probably misunderstand the entire experience in there. And there was never a time after to recoup, so there was always a little bit of a shuffle there. But I love that she didn't close the door on me. That years later, it's back to, hey, you understand, let's go, let's build, let's do this. And I absolutely want to thank Janelle for just being like a mommy in the industry. And I saw somebody made that comment on the live when she was doing her interview. She's like, Janelle's like the cake mom. She really is like a cake mom. She didn't get a chance to see the comments, but I remember some of them. She's like the cake mom, guys. She's schooling us up here. People are saying lemon basil was a signature flavor. Absolutely. Shalin said that she's still waiting for a response to the application as a cake taster. She's ready. Oh, you making the winner's cake right now? Yay! Okay. So they have extra butterman. She's making the winner's cake right now. Yep, absolutely. Now, I love Janelle. Whether or not she want to love me, I didn't love, you know. So I love Janelle right now, and I'm really excited to support her in anything that she wants to do moving forward. And that's where the collaboration comes from. That's where it comes from for me, which is like, now that I understand better, and like you saying, Nadia, that I've grown as well, I'm excited to support Janelle in anything that she's going to do moving forward. That's just what it is. Ryan is talking about my dominance on an event site, and he dropped a load on the back. Let me tell you something. There's a quote online that says, when you want to say what you have to say, stop adding load on the end to try and soften the blow. If you want to tell me I dominant, just say it. I see what you're saying, Ryan. Yeah. I'll take a chance to say it because this is the review and it's not like our professional Wedding Feature Wednesdays. It's the time for us to sip and chat. So I will take a chance to say that I have to be like that, Ryan, on a site. I have to. Think about it. How many women do you usually see before all these wedding planners and stuff pop up on a mass crowd event site, which is where you usually see me? Carnival, parties, fetes. How many women do you see in the mass crowd events industry on these jobs? Not a lot. There are few women in the production element of the mass crowd events. Okay, so the reality is, when you, as the shortest, smallest, youngest, feminine, walk into a site, you have to either assert that dominance or get trampled over. And more so, I'm walking in with a team who is mainly men. And I want them fellas to respect me, and I want them to understand where I'm coming from, and that it wasn't a question, it was a directive. You can engage me, but you're not going to question my design aesthetic. And that's just who I am as a leader. I am sure of myself as a designer, and when I come on a site, I have to be a leader. Now, in no way am I mean, because my boys know after the job, guys, we eating, we drinking, we liming, and it's not personal. It's work, and we have a job to produce, and I have to produce it. And I didn't go to school to learn how to do what I have to do. So I'm learning as I go. I'm triple working on site because I'm working for the entrepreneur, I'm working for the business, and I'm also working for my dignity and my learning process. So when I'm on a job site and you see me being assertive, I guarantee the only person that is offended is the people that don't know that that's how my team dynamic is. The only person that offended is that. My right hand guy, his name is Junior. Everybody knows Junior. I post Junior all the time. I'm in love with him. You understand? I'm in love with my workers. I love them. I love them like they're my brothers and sisters and family. I love my workers. And Junior has gotten the most shouting, Junior! Junior! Why you do that, Junior? And it's not, we always go back in the car and laugh and joke about it because it's absolutely nothing personal. End goal inside. Objective inside. I've learned though, and I've grown over the time, and I've learned that, yeah, you could calm down a little bit on the shouting and calm down a little bit on the assertiveness, and that's good. But in the early stages, he needed to understand that we get this done, and it's going to be of a certain quality. And I'm no bullshit about that. It has to be done right. And when you see you lax on the beginning, and you just let people just do things, you end up with people setting that as the standard. Junior's standard when he walked in is very, very high. Like my standard for Junior was high. He set it up. Boy, that girl not on no shit. That girl about her work. She ain't no papi shooting. She ain't want to see me lagging, wasting time, nothing. Now, years later, I can tell you, today, Junior was on a production on his own as a representative of my brand. And I was unbothered. I check in and Junior tell me, boy, relax, I'm handling it. And I was like, look at you. Now today I don't have to shout anymore because he gets it. He fully understands my standard. Now that might not be everybody's style, but honestly it's what worked for the environment that I was working in, and I'm proud of myself. So thank you very much for saying I found a way to be assertive without being disrespectful. There was no disrespect. I love my guys. They know that. I treat them well. I make sure that we cool, we chill, we understand each other, and I always bring it down to their level all the time, but I also want them to bring it up to my level all the time too. Yep. That's growth for him personally and the business. Absolutely. Big up to Junior on the growth. You saw him today, Nadia? Oh, yes. I get even that Nadia. He called me during his production, and I'm my production. He called me during his production for the company, and he said, oh, I need somebody to transport some items for me because I'm looking at the timing of this client and the timing is not adequate, so we need somebody to transport. I sent him your number and I said you can liaise with Nadia on that one because she has a company with a trucking service that we've used before, and if he did a good job on that, kudos to him. I saw pictures of the event and it was absolutely beautiful. So kudos to Junior. Cheers, Junior. If you're drinking something, raise your glass of water, juice, wine, rum, whatever it is that you're drinking, and kudos to Junior. We're taking a little sip for Junior there. Big up Zona Wines once again. www.zonawines.com. Okay, next, so that will be our number 8, number 9, and number 9. You drinking whiskey? Hey. Our number 9, Nadia from Passions for Weddings. Big up Nadia. Nadia has been there from the start till tonight on episode 10. Big up to Nadia. Nadia is Passion for Weddings, and by extension she's also DIY rentals. Now let me tell you why I like Nadia. Right? Nadia's a home girl, straight shooter, my girl. An empress, a fellow empress. But mostly, let me tell you why I like Nadia. For real, I like her innovation. Nadia quickly realized, yo, I doing all these weddings and these brides don't want these votives. These brides don't want these candles. These brides don't want this thing that they use, these table number holders. They don't want that. What happens with that? And she didn't say, let me just put it in the stock and leave it there to die a slow death. She didn't do that. Nadia said, I'm going to open this up to everybody in the industry. I love that. She said, I'm going to create a platform that everybody can have access to these items and they can use them to accent all their weddings. And I absolutely love that, because when you stick and you don't have the gold votives that the bride was looking for, you can go to Nadia and you're going to get them. When you stick and you cannot afford to buy the glass vases brand new and you just need a quick little rental just for one event, you can go to Nadia DIY Rentals. And I love that innovation. I love how it solves a problem in the industry and is well needed. And more so, Nadia doesn't limit DIY rentals to just her stuff. She actually says, hey, if you have things that you've used and you would like to contribute them to DIY rentals so that we can rent them out, please do. Y'all, the girl making a way for all of us to make a buck. She's not thinking about herself. She's thinking about all of us. How we cannot appreciate Nadia? Somebody said, big up my girl Nadia. Big up Nadia. Honestly, guys, like, I think that's so smart. Now, what I learned from the interview with Nadia, she is so smart as a wedding planner. Being able to, with delivery service, she smiles. With delivery service and smiles. Nadia smiles with her delivery service. To me, she doesn't smile for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. What I learned, in Nadia's interview is Nadia is so smart. I probably wouldn't have been able to rattle out how much a wedding for 50 persons would have been on a life like that. One, I would hesitate. Two, I would be like, how much? Counting in my mind. Yo, Nadia was like, boom, boom, y'all, boom. And that's one of the most valuable pieces of information that we've ever gotten in our life. Honestly. Most valuable piece of information we've ever gotten in our life. Because it's true. It is true. And I said after Nadia's interview that we really need to get down to more brass facts about the industry on this platform. Like, I really want us to start running numbers and saying, this is how much a canopy costs, this is how much a cake costs, this is how much a this costs. So persons can walk away here with numbers, being able to count and say, I cannot afford this wedding. I have to bring down the dream or bring up the dream. You understand? They have a very good idea. And Janet is so right. That's what you get when you are a certified wedding planner with years of experience in the industry. Over 10 years experience in the industry. And I think all kudos to Nadia for how she rattled that off and just everybody was like, what? And she was very factual about it. If your numbers go up, the price goes up, and you have to take into consideration everything. But even more so, learning about the flexibility that a planner has to have in all her arsenal in her memory bank that has to happen, all her skills of coordinating and collaborating and calling in her favors and just navigating. I think a planner's work is a lot of work. I'm not a planner. I'm proud to say it. I'm not a planner. I'm a designer, and I rely on people like Nadia having all their ducks in a row, having all their connections, knowing what they're doing. Hi! Knowing what they're doing and really putting this through. I think you've done photography for that. Alan, that's you? You've done photography for this? We're drinking some Zona wines tonight, so I just wanna, if you did that photography, I just wanna pick you up on some Zona wines tonight. Yeah, good stuff on the gallery page of the website. If that's you, then it's really, really good. Okay, so that was Nadia, guys. Anything we want to mention about Nadia again? No? Alright, and now we're at episode 10. And on episode 10, I just want to know, how do we... You did everything? Wow. Okay, so I just want to say, guys, when you go on zonawines.com and you look at everything in the gallery of Zona Wines, you will see Alain Fevrier or Alain Art's work. And his work is really exquisite. His composition of his photos for Zona Wines is really, really good. And I think he really needs that little big up for congrats on a good branding photography shoot. Yeah, absolutely. He did all the video and the right angle Omar did the photos. So really good composition, really nice storyline being told there. Okay, so this is episode 10, guys, and what I want to know is, moving forward, I need more engagement from you. So I need to know what you want to hear more about. I think we already covered that we need more brass facts in there. Somebody said to me that I need more chats and not just presentation, so I'll take that comment. But what do you want to know more about is what I need to get into. Now I am going to answer a few questions that I received during the day, because like I said, I did put up a post that said ask me anything related to weddings, and I'll just go through it very briefly. You know, somebody asked me how do I get into the field of wedding design. It's something design was something I always knew that I wanted to do. There you go, a product photographer, Janelle. You were looking for that. Janelle, Sweet Drinks Custom Cakes Allen was looking for a product photographer. So there you go, make a connection right there. I was saying that I always knew that I wanted to do design straight from secondary school. I had been struggling to try to figure out exactly where to be positioned. Right after school, I went and worked for Landmark Events, and that really gave me the inspiration that I needed. And I navigated through the corporate world for a while until I found myself out on my own doing design, and I knew I loved it. I just always knew I loved it. And pay attention in school, not to the class, to everything outside of the class. Don't let it. Pay attention to both. So yeah, that's how I got into it. Somebody else asked me, and I got this question about 10 times today, when am I getting married? So I will get married around the same time I put the lashes. So that's the answer. Yeah. I think somebody else asked me, how do I handle a bride who has a big vision but not a big budget? From a planner's point of view, the planner would have to navigate that herself. But from a designer's point of view, I simply ask her, what are your first 3 priorities? What are your 3 priority areas? And I put all my focus on these priority areas, and then I just sprinkle the rest of the stuff with decor. I like to make sure that the 3 places that she knows, these are the memorable things. It's almost like a focal point in a house that she knows, yeah, that is what I want to definitely get pictures of the cake. I definitely want pictures of my head table, and I definitely want pictures of my ceremony arch. Let's put majority of the budget towards that, and then I navigate and emotionally let her down for the rest of it. So that's definitely how I do that. Yeah, I wish you'll ask me more questions, but it was so concerning when I get married. But you know, we'll wait for when the lashes come, we'll know. We'll know then. So guys, any other questions? Anything else for me? I'm really excited to talk to you guys every Wednesday. This is a interesting experience for me. I love having a chat with you guys. And yeah. So Wedding Feature Wednesday every Wednesday. I'm looking forward to the next 9 episodes. So on number 20, I'll come and sit with you again and be like, what did we learn here today, guys? What did we find out? So I'm looking forward to the next 9 episodes. I'm also just looking forward to connecting more, engaging more, and having new people come on board. Interesting people. You know, there are so many small businesses and brands in St. Lucia, guys. So many. So many. And it's just interesting to discover them from all different aspects, but even more so from just these small businesses. There are so many big businesses that may be willing to support us. I think at some point during my lives, I had Anmac as one of our sponsors, and I would like to continue to engage persons on that. So, okay, site location reviews. Okay, I love that. I love that. So we're going to review locations. Absolutely, we'll use one of our Wednesdays to review locations. So I'm taking notes. Site location reviews. Alrighty. So I appreciate that. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me for Wedding Feature Wednesday. This is episode 10. I might take 1 week break, and then we'll get back into what I would like to call season 2 of Wedding Feature Wednesday. We're going to get back into it and have some new exciting elements to there, see how we can expand. Please help me grow. Please share this. Please invite other people. When the live come on, share it to your friends and family. You know, mention it, repost it after. You know, I don't have a giveaway today. I would give you away a glass of wine, that's it, but I don't have a giveaway today. For me, no job. So that says to you, hey, share with people that want other people to taste, sample, understand, experience their brands, understand their brands, become lifelong customers. There's so much value in partnering for Wedding Feature Wednesday. People are getting to know you. You want food, drinks, and catering. You want that on the live. You want that on the live. You want the whole kitchen moving in the background of me. There's so many things that we can learn and understand from just having a conversation and engaging each other, and I'm happy to use this platform to be able to do it. So thank you to everybody who's ever been involved in Wedding Feature Wednesday, and thank you to everybody who's stayed by and listened to it. I mean, we started off with maybe 3 or 4 viewers, and now we are 12. So maybe by our 20th episode, we might have about 25 people. Ain't that good? Ain't God good, y'all? Don't mind that, you know. They have some people that have 100 and something thousand followers. And, well, not 100 and something, but maybe 10,000 followers or something. And sometimes when they do their lives, they only have 5 people, eh? So, I'm just saying, it's quantity over quality. It's quality over quantity. Okay? It's quality over quantity. Okay, Janelle, noted. I can bring in some chefs, okay? So that definitely brings us into a new chef, some bartenders as well. Alright guys, I'm gonna need that break because I'm gonna have to plan a whole experience for Wedding Feature Wednesday. Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I love that. Adding a chef, adding a bartender, adding a DJ, and having a party on Wednesdays. But more so having a really good conversation and really experiencing their thing. Yes, and absolutely guys, I think if you've been there from day one, at some point we're going to reward you for being our loyal viewer from day one. So I'm taking notes. You and Bianca came in, but she came in late, but she's always there. She's always engaging. And we do need, yes, Shirls, thank you for bringing that up. We did say that Janelle and I have to do a live of her decorating a cake. I don't know why Janelle will just put us on live now, but anyway, we're just saying we do need to have a live of her decorating a cake one day. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you so much guys for joining in on Wedding Feature Wednesday. Again, to our loyal viewers, thank you so much. And I would like to say again guys, a reminder to you all about Zona Wines. I'm excited about this brand because I do think as a Caribbean people, we really need to elevate our experience in the Caribbean, and we really need to provide honest, practical feedback so that we create really good brands that are comparable on the international market. The box was absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna say that again. Love that packaging. It's very strong, it's very sturdy, very good multi-purpose. I could see a really good reuse in there. You can taste it after. I could see a really good reuse in there. I just wanted to show you guys again how that box was packaged. It was very nice packaging. I did make a note to Zona Wines. If you were not there in the beginning, I made a note to them that when I see the back of the box, I need to understand that this is a Zona. So I do recommend a logo somewhere in the back, maybe off to the top here in the back of the box, because you don't know it's Zona. When you put it like this, you don't know it's Zona, you don't know it's Zona. So maybe even a cap on the top of it or something of the sort, just to make sure it says Zona here and Zona here of some sort. So I do recommend that, but other than that, it's very good packaging. And then when we got into it guys, we smelled the wine. It had scents of cinnamon in there. It was very fresh. It's a little bit of a young wine, so it doesn't have as much aging going on in it, so it's not as rustic. It's a little bit sharp, but I identified that it seemed like a very good dinner wine more than anything else. It goes good for bruschetta, very good for ribeye, very good for steak, and very good for dark chocolate. Janelle did recommend that for Caco Saint Lucie, so I'm looking forward to seeing maybe a collaboration between Zona Wines and Caco Saint Lucie with the Cabernet Sauv at some point, the Cabernet Sauvignon at some point. There are other flavors that we can try, the pineapple and the mango, and there's another Chardonnay in there. She's saying a gift tag on the top. Yep. So just again, I'm just showing you the color on the wine so that you can kind of see, if you can, that it's quite young. You know, there's no, it's a little bit young, but that's fine. It smells really nice. It's very fruity. a lot of cinnamon, a lot of spice, and she did mention something else that was in there. A little later on, I picked up some tones of passion fruit or something citrusy in the back of there. And for flavor palette, a little sharp, but that's a dry wine for you. Still a little sharp regardless, but I could imagine that it's a good food pairing wine. That's what I see it as. So that's my review on Zona Wines, and I hope good branding, very good branding. I love that, and the whole aesthetic being to elevate the culture and allow it to be your crown. So thank you very much, Natalie. You joined in late. We featured a wine today. You joined late. You missed the wine, Natalie. You gotta come early. We are ending now. Thank you to everybody who came on the live, and I will see you on the next Wedding Feature Wednesday. Please look out for the graphics, the information, and the content, and please follow my page, like my posts, and engage me. Let's continue the dialogue. You don't have to talk only on Wednesdays. We can talk during the week. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, and I've learned a lot. So thank you. Big up CWeb. Yes, y'all join CWeb. Join CWeb. Yes, absolutely. She is proud of Zona Wines, and I love that. So thank you so much, and I'm just gonna end with my welcome to Wedding Feature Wednesday. All right, bye.